Hello, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. Alrighty, we're gonna do this really quickly. I don't know what the unknown name is. Try to do this here. My Jupiter. Or diasporan, second thought per se. And log into my system. I think this is good. Before I go on here, what I'm doing, Liberate is lifted. Hello everyone. Let me apologize for coming on late. I had encountered some technical difficulties. You'll see right here, I got two laptops. This is my laptop. I logged it off last night. Yes, thank you. And my Wi-Fi is switching. I switch it off and on. It's not working. I'm using my baby laptop. Here it is. That didn't work either. So the good thing is we have Facebook. Hi guys. Hi. Good thing we have Facebook. So let's open up. We're here. We made it, right? That's very important. Hi everyone. Hey Paul. Here's Amaru. Hey Hassan. Here's Ramsey. Live. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you. You will rise. Hello. Yeah, farewell. Yeah. Hey. And my Wi-Fi. Yep. I have a perm to read to you or today. Hey, cuz my cousin is here, my baby is here. Everyone, welcome. Please share the video. I appreciate it. Yep. The power of the tongue. Yeah, Princess Onkali, hello everyone. Please share the video. There are at least 42 of you here. If 42 of you share, we will have 42 extra people that will join us and their friends. Because your friends may not be my friend. And there's all of us logging to some degree to acquire certain information. I'm already live. Yeah, so please share. So the goal is to get the information out to many people as possible we can. It's educating. You may agree and may not agree, and they may agree and may not agree, or may pick something that I say or that someone else come on the show says that will help them out and help all of us out. So the essence of this to educate one another and forge forward and make our country a better place to live, per se. So again, thank you. Hi, Moses. Hello, Hermine. Hi, it says Rose. My sister is here. Jerome, thank you. I love this song, and I've played it for literally 3 years straight. Yes. Facebook Live, Studio Live. We've been going on since about, just on Facebook Live from the studio 2016 to now, literally 4 years. Not the advocacy, but just to communicate via Facebook, Zoom about 2.5, 3 years. So, and again, my Wi-Fi is tripping in this new information age. Maybe I need, I don't know, AT&T told me that's the highest of the band I could get. So maybe now we need something else. So that is not working for me. So let me apologize. The topic today, first, I do have, Liberian people say, I don't like to say bullshit. I do have some information for you concerning the deal that will cross with President George Weah to get Ellen Johnson Sirleaf's children out. I also do want to talk about the role and responsibility of our government or any other government for that matter, why people are elected to serve, not to be served. And those are the things that, and I want to understand your mindset of what a government is. But before I start, I would go on Facebook weekly and pick something that I want to look at that we all can relate to, be it positive or negative. But I like reality, okay? I like realism, not just optimism, but I like realism. I like for people to be forthcoming, straightforward, forward thinking, whatever you want to call it per se. But this particular one post caught my eyes during the week. It was on May 15th. And at 10:24, there was a lot of going back and forth about this. And I'm going to read this aloud, right? Again, forgive me. I am, English is my second language. This is a borrowed language. If you ask me to speak Mano-Gio or, you know, other tribes, I may do better, then I would do that. So, and for me as an educator, I like to read at least 4th grade level. No more than 6th grade. So we get across everyone. All right. The smart dude who have all of the PhD jurisprudence in a word. President Obama got a 15 honorary degree, PhD, and do have a PhD, and we just call him Obama, you know, don't care because he knows who he is. He speaks at 6th grade level, sometimes even lower. You know, you can see from his, or the different depiction when children go to him, he gets on his knees to get to their level to be able to communicate with them. That's an art of leadership. So are we, to start off. What is hell? Where is hell? These are like huge question mark. Hell is your personal suffering. Hell is when you have no job. Hell is your inability to find your way in your rightful place in an unjust, unequal world where many of God's children can barely eat a meal a day. Where is hell? This is not from me. This is just question. As we go through this difficult time, pandemic, all the other things that people begin to think, I know, like I said, I would pick a wording or a post every week, and maybe I'll use it as an opening or at any. In fact, I will have this young guy here every weekend. He's a great writer. Hey, Bishop is here. And then I will have him do some closing for us on different Liberian poetry per se. Please, how you call it? So you heard that. And this is somebody talking about their personal health, right? For other people, when you look at mankind and look through the faces of our people and the heart and soul of them and their daily encounter, even when there's light, and he continues, and they have no place of their own to live. Hell is being broke. They're broke. And you cannot find money to buy yourself a bowl of kobo to eat. Health is no health care, no health insurance, no money to see a nurse or a doctor when you are sick. Health is to die of curable diseases in a country of plenty mineral, natural resources, and corrupt, inept, heartless, and bad leader. Hell is not having the money to go to school. Hell is when your child is starving and you don't have a dime to feed your child. Hell is when you cannot buy your child a sock, a candy, and you cannot send your child or children to school because you have no money. Do you have to die to go to hell? Hell is right here on earth. You're starving in hell. Those are not my words. and profoundly, this is a word of a very intelligent man, Dr. Sungwe. And the funny thing, Dr. Sungwe happened to be my cousin-in-law. Very balanced, forward-thinking, led our community at one point way back when as a president. He one man who stands up, whether you agree with him or disagree with him. These are his words, it's not mine. So what would be your help? We don't have to go to heaven, you know. So here's what I say to you. Hell is when there's law and that law does not protect you. Hell is when your daughters can be ripped in daylight and killed, and there's no investigation and there's no legal recourse or moral recourse. That's hell. Hell is when your loved one can be gutted open, neck cut off, and put on the street as an act of intimidation, and nothing happens and there's no justice. That's hell. Hell is when your pregnant sister or mother or wife can be gutted open just to know the sex of your baby. That's hell. Hell is when a young man can be grabbed and taken to prison and the police officer can take out his clothes in his own country with his own color, with his own peers, with his own people, his own kind, and be brutalized, and everybody sit there and hear his cry and don't answer, and he runs out bleeding from his head just to go to radio station. That's hell. So let's talk some more about hell. You know, this is not to be, you know, I see pastors here, I see bishops here, and God, I'm lucky being married to a pastor. Okay. Hi, sis. Hello, Francis. Hi, I see Salafuni. I see Dasha, my cousin Calvin, our patriot and justice seeker, Seku. All of you guys, all of you are here. Thank you so much. If I didn't call your name, I apologize. I will go through later and I will say thank you. I'm here because you are here. And again, I apologize because I come on at 1 o'clock, but I'm having internet problem. Our family is growing. I got too many funds. I shut down my laptop last night so I can kind of reboot it this morning, and it refused literally to work. Get onto Zoom. Maybe I need to do some update, and I did not do, but there's no time. I like to keep our schedule, and Evangelist is here. So that was to him his depiction of hell. Although you can be living on earth and still be in hell. But here it is. Here it is. Let me say to all of you Liberians. Hopelessness. Hopelessness. You know, my mother used to say, hey, Sam, hey, you can, eventually, hi, Emilia, hi. You can be useless. And there's no problem with that. It's temporary. But to be hopeless, then there's a problem. Hopelessness is the enemy of justice. Hopelessness is the enemy of progression. Hopelessness is even the enemy of life, because when you lose hope, then there's no way for you. But if you're useless, God is still here. So now, we don't want to sound depressed. Good afternoon, Evangelist. Okay? We don't want to sound depressed. We want to be optimistic, but we want to be realistic at the same time. Hey, James, we want to be optimistic, and we must be optimistic, but we have to be realistic in our optimism. That's just the way it is. We have to be realistic in our optimism. So you heard the post. I will put it up later. Where are the personal health of Liberian people at this point? When a woman in a society, when I was growing up and a child got pregnant out of wedlock, that was a disgrace to the family. But a whole community of people can be women with children and no fathers around. Hell is when a boyfriend can kill your daughter and say he was jealous because she was standing on the road talking to someone, and there's no personal responsibility, no legal recourse. That is hell. Hell is when a nation can watch its citizen, 250,000 of them killed, and there's no legal recourse. There's no accountability. Hell is when you are rich with resources and 90% of the children cannot afford to go to school or to eat 3 meals a day. That is hell. So let me continue. Now, and I'm telling you, I do have news for you. I know people would like for me to put up a capture that say something else. Maybe Ellen deal where we are and we will all be running to this platform. No, I like to focus on these things. So I'm going to talk about, before I come to talk about the deal with we are to free Ellen Johnson Sirleaf children and the what do you call it, the distraction of having DeMoy arrested and all of those. We'll talk about that. Hi dear. So let me come back here a little bit. I want to first explain to you. You know, I watched a TV live yesterday. Let me say to all of us, don't ever go on a show when the topic is giving you and you know that you have not done your research and come and throw war all out here. That's unjust. That's wrong. That's misleading. I don't care if your name is a recognized name. Don't go on people's Facebook platform or people podcast knowing that you don't understand the topic or you have not done your research. You have not done your research to educate people properly, and you sit down and when information are available and you assume that information are not available. And that is that's not right. Okay? That's disingenuous. You can't do that. But let me tell you something about the role and responsibility of the government and your role as citizens. And this is topic, and I'm sorry we could not do the roundtable today, which is our leadership. Next week, we will focus on the electorate per se, the NEC. What is the role and responsibility of the NEC? Do the current people that we just confirmed, can they do the job? Hey, bro. Hey, Moa. So here, and George, here it is. Can they do the job? You know, a lot of people don't know that there are already regulations on the book as to how Liberia electorate or the NEC should function, right? But majority of us don't know that because majority of us are lazy reader, because majority of us are lazy researcher. Then to majority, I'm talking about people who have access to. I'm not talking about people who don't have access. Some people just don't have access. Liberian, most people don't have access. Greetings, lawless. Okay? Some people don't have access. Those I don't blame. But majority of us, we like talk. You talk to Liberian, the first thing they ask you, what have you done? What are you doing? You want to know what I'm doing? Then look me up and see what I'm doing. Okay? Yes. So in Liberia, what is the role and responsibility, first of all, more, when you ask Liberian people, what is the role and responsibility of the government? That's something you have to ask yourself. What is my role as a citizen? What is the role of and responsibility of the government? This is election year. Okay, what we did, Duke is here. My team, lady, Liberian Diaspora Initiative. We're mentorship, you know, we have not talked for long. Everybody got, but we've been around. We've been around 3 years. We're a registered organization. Okay. And if you remember last year, June 7, our mentees were from community to community doing live town hall. We were using Zoom. So Zoom is not new to us. All right. We were using Zoom to gather hundreds of people to speak to them on the roles and responsibilities as citizens, per se. All right? So we are going to go back to that. We have also devised a way of our children staying at home, even if they go to school, to set time where we can educate them, you know, from their community. You know, via where I am in the United States, we call it whiteboard. But via electronic, you know, conferencing. Okay, we can use the same Zoom to educate our children, one community at a time. And we can, there are a lot of educated. I was just talking to you about Dr. Sumbe. Okay, this man is brilliant. This man help people with their dissertation, their school papers. And in fact, his dissertation was published. Liberian people, all your fake doctor. Yes, I get personal sometimes. I like to get personal. People ask me. I do. Because Liberia is personal to me. All right? People have to understand that. Hey, Millie, if Liberia is not Dr. Peters, yes, that's my girl right there. If Liberia is not personal to you, if you don't take if you don't take what is happening in Liberia seriously, okay? If you don't take it seriously, if you don't take it personal, then you are not thinking. All right? Okay, so I'm coming somewhere with this. The roles and responsibility. Here's his hand of the responsibility. That's the birthday girl. We celebrate you all week. That's my sister on the journey. Happy birthday, happy belated birthday. You know, I was swamped. I could not call you. I had deadlines to meet, but I remember you, as you have always remembered the people of Liberia. All right. That's okay, Dario. So let me continue. So if you are not considering what is happening in Liberia personal, then there's a disconnect. Then you have a problem. Then you know why you've isolated yourself, because you live in a country that the government provided environment for you. Let me tell you first and foremost. Hey, Mercy, from the beginning, Lucinda, Joanne. Let me tell you, majority of you who came to America and Canada on resettlement. The first thing, the government pay you with, boy, you a plane ticket. They were not you pay or your mom money. It was we, the taxpayer money. It was not Liberian money. It was we, the taxpayer money. And you signed contract that you were going to pay back. Majority of you never paid that back, okay? I applied for 27 people. So I know the process or the processes and what it was involved. And those that came, where were. When you came, you had an orientation. Whereas when you were approved, you had an orientation. And when you had that orientation, you got here, you got an orientation. They gave you food stamp. If you were already like me, my family, they gave them food stamp for 90 days. That was it, because we were living in a place, they based on my income. Like Georgia is not a welfare state, so they were not going to play. I don't know what other people do, but my people came through social Catholic services, right? So there was, no, it was not social service, some place downtown. Don't remember the name. It's been a while, been more than 15 years, right? So you got those who went to Canada, you were getting paid, At the same time, they were giving you food stamp. That was the government to make sure you find your bearings, and then they helped you to find you a job. That is the government. So when I hear the people in solidarity with this government, who the same thing they said to Ellen last year, this year they're saying it differently because that's the king's man, or the thing is the king's man, then there's a disconnect. Then they're misleading their situation. So I'm going somewhere with this. So I was reading that health stuff so you can get that. Now let's move forward. What is the roles and responsibility of the government? So let me explain to you in really simple terms, all right? The role and responsibility of the government is to provide social programs to its citizens. In the most controversial of all is to provide parameters for everyday behavior of citizens, protect them from outside interferences, and often provide their well-being and happiness. So you will start on Facebook yesterday, on someone platform, and say Liberians are lazy. Then tell me Weah is lazy. Weah is very lazy. He is lazy. He is wicked. I'm saying it, okay? And it's sad for me to say that, but he is. He had $80 million when Liberia had only $60 million budget. When we were $80 million rich, land was $25 in Liberia. Okay? Come say hi. Come say hi. Y'all see who's here? That's my grandbaby. Say hi. Hi. Okay, bye. Go on. That's my grandbaby. Okay? So, that's my cutie pie, the one who keep me, run me around all day. I got to sleep late today because she can sleep bad. She had to sleep with grandma. Nyla, you're going to go downstairs to your auntie's. Grandma is still working. Love you. Yeah. So.
Wait, I was going to ask you something.
You were going to ask me something? Go ahead, ask me.
Can I watch a movie with you at night when it's dark?
Can you watch movie with me at night when it's dark? Sure, you can. We'll make the schedule. Okay? Love you. Yeah. 1995, land was $25 a lot. 1995, land was $25 a lot in Garnersville, because I got some. Okay? Yes. And I have properties in one of the Ville. 1995, let me repeat myself clearly. Land was $25 a lot. Liberia has less than $60 million in budget. We was $80 million rich according to you all. And I would not answer stupidity today. Okay? I think before now, I never called that man name. I didn't give a fig about him. And so long he's in charge of our resources, the livelihood of our people, the future of our children, yes, I will talk about him. Yes, I will talk about him. Stealing our resources, banjoine, yes, I will talk about him. He's too dirty for me to even think about him as a man, okay? His spirit is dirty. Even as a person, he's dirty. His deals are dirty, all right? So, yes, I will talk about him. Yes. My dear, the same place now, if you go to buy land there, I think they're like maybe $1,000 plus or $2,000. So 2013, I bought a land, or supposedly bought a land in Marshall, which disappeared because I sent the money to people for $500 a lot. No, that went in 2008. 2008. Today, I think the land, the lots are like 2,000 or more. So you see, time value money. Now we're talking finance. Wayne Lawless, I was just giving you information. You think about time value money. At the time too, you know, there were embargo on Liberia. So the leadership could not leave. The money was in the country, which was good. So we have $80 million. Liberia whole national budget were around $60 million. This man built absolutely nothing in the country. Those of you who want to ask me what I have done, you can inbox me or you can look me up at what I have to do. Don't come on my podcast to ask me what I have done, okay? And if you do that, I will block you. Don't come here. That means you're very limited. That means you don't do your research. That means you just show up on people's platform and talk trash and ask stupid questions. That means your level of intelligence is very low. You cannot even think, okay? Think and be logical at a fourth grade level. I'm not going to deal with you, all right? I'm not going to deal with you. That's it. So let me explain to you. So this dude had $80 million, and according to him, but he lived in a row house in Park Hill. Y'all go there, some of the pictures there. This man, football made him rich. He built no economy in Liberia. He did nothing absolutely. He comes back broke. He sits down in Liberia, all right? Because we're so gullible, all right? Because we are so stuck on emotions and not logic, right? This dude was borrowing you a car. This dude was borrowing every Marvin Snow car to get around. All of a sudden, we're all claiming he got $80 million. So when he becomes president, he's going to spend $80 million on us. But his wife was working at a nursing home. Fast forward, the Ebola comes. Hey, bro. Hey, Sis Kuma. Here's Othello. Ebola comes. He ran away from the country. His name is in the hat to run as a president. To run as a senator in Montserrat at the time. But Ebola comes. He leaves the people, the larger constituent in Liberia, and runs to the United States and Canada and leave the people that he so loved and comes to the state. Just as his wife has done today. Just as his wife had done today. All right? Abandon the people and gone. Abandon the Liberian people and gone. Have you seen Claire Ria for 3 months? Have you seen her? Have you heard from her? Have you seen her? All right? Thank you so much, Morris. I'm not here for the low life we're asking. If you may know, yes. And we are left and came to the States. Let me tell you something. I called my brother, Dr. Emmanuel Dolo, at the time and asked him what y'all doing there. He and his wife, they say they weren't leaving. Okay, they weren't leaving. They can't leave the people. Remember, these two people or the rest of them weren't looking to be senator or representative job. Hey, Emmerich, that's my team. All right, they weren't. Here's Regina. They weren't, but they stay. They stay in Liberia to support the people. Your beloved sweetheart, we are Leviu stranded. Y'all remember the young boy that was killed in West Point, shot in the leg? Y'all remember that little boy? He died in vain. Y'all remember the young man too that was killed on CDC compound? He died in vain. Just as Ellen Johnson Sirleaf had figured all of us out. She knew exactly what to do, what button to press. Just within that, when it happened, I'm going somewhere with this, all right? We are mother passed. He didn't have money. Ellen, they were planning to do a protest. Ellen offers him money to bring his mother body home to Liberia, give her a state burial, and then he took it. What happened to the young boy who died on CDC compound? What happened to his family? Since we are took over. Since we are took over, have you ever heard him mention this little girl name? Have you? I mean, the little boy name. Have you ever heard him go to visit his family and say, we were in this struggle? Your child made the ultimate sacrifice and we're in the struggle together. Have you guys seen that? Have you seen anything of that? Listen, some of y'all come here on my platform too, while your officials stay in my inbox, asking for my opinion, asking if I can join them, okay? So your little, I will call your plebeians. You know who are plebeians? During the years of the kings or the Roman days, the low lives who lived outside of the kingdom, and their job was to cook and clean and feed the royal family. They were plebeians. The commoner, okay? You are not even called commoner. Some of you are not even commoner because you are not counted, you are not remember. You can barely find food to eat. You bear CDC stuff and you come on people's platform and just talk trash. So let me continue my thought. As I was saying. So we are left. People stay to work. All right? And I started with a poem. What is hell? And I brother-in-law, and I elaborated from someone else's Facebook post. Hey, Honorable Glay, welcome. Hey, Larry, welcome. We'll talk after the show. All right? And I chronicled that particular person's thoughts. If you go to the beginning of the show here after, you will see that I read the person poem from, comments. Yes. The person post. Okay? And sometimes it's not even your hey Sirleaf, it's not even your credential or your position, your mindset, your ability to think and be logical and be reasonable can make you a commoner. Say, hey Joyce, all right? So I was talking about the role and responsibility of the government. So for instance, let's go a little bit. America has not been to work literally. If you were not into medical field, non-essential worker, at this time, the essential worker would be even the people working in the grocery store, our people that clean the floor, the people that clean the bathroom, the people that stock the food, all right? Although we are not going out to buy the way we have been, the government is going to come in to sustain those jobs. If need be, it will elevate them to keep them moving and keep America moving. You know, every time if you post something about Liberia, those people who can do research, they get on Facebook, they get onto Google. Praise God for Google. We have made Google so rich, all right? We'll get on Google and look for other comparable and compare them with that country. Let me tell you something about America, all right? America have never claimed at any point to be perfect. America tells you her greatness does not last in her land space. Her greatness does not last in the size of her army. Her greatness does not last in her intellectual ability, but her greatness lasts in her ability to repair herself. Meaning, and you know, logically, you cannot fix something that is not broken or that does not have a mistake. So you fix stuff that you think is not right. For instance, from the onset, when America wrote the Constitution and said all men were created equal, although for 200 years, literally, they treated black men as unequal, as less than animal, those are just facts. We got to deal with that, okay? But when push came to shove and the Constitution were reinterpreted and there was an amendment done, okay, and emancipation was done. To date, in history, a black man is unbooked to have served as the president of the United States. That's repairing your wrong. Today, you can't just grab other people and hang them out in the street and lynch them to death. You will be arrested. It may not happen right away. Thank you, Lapo. Okay? Thank you so much, dear. I'm humble. All right, you can't just walk up to. Let me tell you a quick story. I live in a city called Lawrenceville, right? Lawrenceville, Georgia. Lawrenceville, Georgia has history of racism. This is the deep South. When I first came to this country, the early 90s, the beginning of the 90s, most black people, they didn't come, especially African with my accent, did not come to Lawrenceville. We came to Lawrenceville. It was a farmland in the daytime to buy good, or let's just say cattle and cows, okay? And we left as quickly as we could and as early as we could. We call it the boondock. Not too far from me, the segregated school in another county between here and there is right down the street. Before the days of Ruby Bridges, okay? Now, exactly says a black man. And the reason I continue to talk when as a volunteer of Obama team, when the announcement was made or was set to be made on Oprah Winfrey show, I had Liberians who told me it would never happen in our lifetime. Just like Liberians said today, it says dirt. They say, oh, that the way it's been, so that the way it's going to be, you can't change. And I'm like, what? So my uncle, may his soul rest in peace, the patriot of our family, Uncle Andrew. Uncle Andrew, Bernice, my sister, all of them were here. And he began to talk to my uncle came here in the 70s. Grew up in New York, went to school in New York, moved down here. When I moved down here, when I came to the States, he moved to me and everybody moved here to me. All right? And when my uncle said that, my blood boiled. Okay? Because at the time, I have a preteen son, a brown man to be. And I said to him, I said, Uncle Andrew, Obama is going to be president for America. He burst out laughing. And he said to me, not this lifetime. And I said, even if he does not become president, he tried. The audacity to try. The audacity to dream, to think these things are possible. That's the audacity that we're talking about. Vision. To see where no man has gone before. You know, those of you who grew up so-called no matter in Liberia, there's a show that used to come on. I like to tell story. I'm an educator, so I like to tell story. People say sometimes I get them lost. And I'm coming somewhere with this. It's about traveling road less travel. Taking road less travel. That most people have never been. Hey, Doc. All right. And this show used to come on Sunday evening called Star Trek. Star Trek is still on. You can watch the old one. And when it comes on, it will go ta-na-ta-na-ta-ta. But then it will say to boldly go where no man has gone before. That's vision. Vision is when you can think. And in biblical sense, we call it faith. To believe, hey, Pops, welcome. Okay, Thomas, welcome. To believe that something is possible that you already have, but you have never seen it happen. It's faith. Faith is the substance hoped for evidence not seen. So when somebody jump as a Liberian who say they're a Christian nation, then they tell you it's impossible. But you are telling us God is impossible. You are telling us God is a liar. Okay? Then you are telling us that. You are telling us that because it had never been done, it can't be done. Then I come to this place. When I came to this country and Dr. Francine came before me, she would tell you that. We got something called Netscape as our web engine. It was a snail mail. Webster was so slow. Okay, Netscape was so slow. All right. Then we had internet. Y'all today, I know majority of you who just got email address, you're all Gmail. But if you go to AOL, if you go to Hotmail, okay, and all of this mail, you will know those who have had email address forever. I have this phone number that I use on here that you call me on since the early 90s. My phone number has never changed. This phone number I got, some of you just got access to cell phone. Since the early 90s, maybe about 92, 94, no later. Okay? Literally almost 30 years. My number has not changed. Do I have other numbers? Yes, I have other numbers. Yes, I do. Because I have other things that I do. Right? I do. But this particular number, because number one, I kept it when I could not contact my family. And say always, yeah, still have AOL. And I still have Hotmail. All right? Now, then later on Yahoo came. Now we got Gmail and everybody on Gmail. So they think they know it all or they seen you before and they understand. So the point I'm making is, so we are particularly put my heart and soul. And I remember going to the site where we used to gather to make calls. At the time, says Glennie, welcome. At the time, we were paying per minute, like you are doing today in Liberia. We were paying for minute. But when we volunteer for Obama, you have to pay for your own phone bill. So they print out the voter list, okay? The voter list or register voter list, you know. All you got to do is call, require phone banking, and you call. I saw mostly young white college kids there. And mostly foreign people were asking that were volunteering. Because at the time, most Black Americans did not believe it was possible. At the time, even the world did not believe it was possible. But vision is what drives us. How can you boldly go where no man have gone before? How can you take the road less sticky, right? So let me come back to you. When a Liberian person tells you when something is happening and you challenge it and it favors them, they tell you it have not happened before. So it had not happened before, so it means it can be done. But you setting your lazy butt on Facebook that didn't exist 20 years ago. You setting your lazy butt on Facebook that didn't happen 10 years ago. But you know this won't happen. But when it comes to Black people in Liberia, it has not happened before, so it will not happen. Because you are a lazy thinker, because you have no vision, your leadership have no vision, all right? So I go back to what is held and the role and responsibility of the government. The government job is to provide the perimeters, to protect the citizen. The government job is to create job or create an environment that enables people to create job. First and foremost, all right? If I come up with a party in America that will benefit this country, people will reach out to me to support me, to test it out. And if it's good, the research and development in America, number one budget is invested in defense, research, and development, all right? To create job, create more job. Me as a minority, and I'm working with my sister, you will see that. They will give me small business minority loan to establish myself so I can hire people. That's what the government does. So when y'all sit down and go appear on show and say y'all lazy, we are is lazy. Anybody you support we are and you call Liberian people lazy, you lazy. The man had $80 million. He produced nothing. He ended up broke. He had nothing to show for it, but rare banks and gold banks. So for y'all to show up on people's show, I get really, really agitated. Okay? I get really, really agitated when a Liberian person says Liberians are lazy. I'm lazy. I came to this country with no mother, no father. Guess what? I found myself in an environment I can walk to the school or the community college and they will give me money to go to school. They will help me if I were not out of high school to do a GED or to do an equivalent test and test out and get into a class, which some of us did, many of us did. That's a government job to make sure that people are well off and they're competitive with the rest of the world. Now, let's talk about laziness. We will teach in economics, just elementary economics next week. So we are on this track. Like today, we were not able to do the leadership because my internet is acting up or my stuff then is acting up. Hawa, thank you for being here. All of you. Bill, all of you, thank you for being here. I know I got people here trying to be distract me and all of that. That's their job to do, distracting. While you're distracting, please invite more people. Hopefully you will take something. Even when you insult me, just stay, invite more people. Because when they go home, some of what I will say, maybe there will be a word that I will trigger you, that you will remember and say, I saw one loudmouth, brown-faced woman, okay, on Facebook. One or two things. And let me tell you why. I had a conversation with a girl yesterday. And she said something. We talked for 2 hours. Out of the 2 hours, I pick a few things. And this is to Dr. Francine, because this is a few. What I pick up, she said something to me that was profound. Because her family has suffered so long. They have violated other people to some degree. And she said to me, she says, yeah, my siblings stopped growing when the war started. Majority of our Liberians stopped growing, hey Maurice, when the war started. Physically, we grew. Mentally, we're stuck. We may get our PhDs, our master's degree, our high school diploma. We may have thousands and hundreds of thousands of dollars in the bank, okay? You have all of those things. You may have all of that. But mentally, we are still stuck in the 90s from the war. The trauma. We're still in prison. We have not been liberated. And majority of us may not be liberated. We may die in that chain, mental chain. Thank you so much, Jenna. Okay? I know Canada government is doing that. So you have a president, all right, who goes to Congress, our Congress. Tell our Congress our people are hungry. We're gonna have state of emergency. And then we have the state of emergency. Lock our people down. No provision, no plans. Thank you so much, Joda, for watching all the way from Sweden. Okay? And our people are being in the house for a month plus. Okay? No food, no supply. But we on the outside have to hustle and beg each other from Europe to Asia to the Oceania country to America to Canada. Okay? We have to feed our people and keep them alive. Yesterday, I saw a group of young Nimbane for Bound. I've met a young man that I've come to know and respect, Darius. Okay? Darius Ricks. Giving out 300 bags of rice in the different boroughs. Hey, Cecil. Hey, Caroline. Wow, you're watching from Tunisia. Dude, welcome, all of you. All of you that are watching. I'm here because you're here. Please share the video. And please, I could not get onto my page. Please like our page. Our page is Second Thought Africa TV. Please like our page. I'm having technological issue. Korea. Oh my God, welcome. And you know what? All my puppies, you've been here with me with one new. Mohammed, please share the video so your team in Asia and all of them can also be a part, and those in Tunisia and all the other places to be a part of this conversation. So we are talking about the roles and responsibility of the government. Let's look again. I'm watching one of the sports person for the the airlines goes to Congress. They need help. Now some of us that we have our women program this year, and we will have our program by God's grace. All right, by God's grace, I think will give us an opportunity to walk out in faith, to meet one another again. Those of us that survive this coronavirus, to be able to show strength together and support one another. I look forward to it. And Duke is going to be there this time. Emmerich is going to be there this time. All of them are going to be there this time, because this time we'll color speech for 1 month. Oh, yes, I do color speech from my family. Yes, I do when I'm mad at them, because I don't want to talk and say the wrong thing. But they got to be there. Okay? Thank you, love. That's my grandbaby. All right? So, here we are. They go to Washington to ask for more money to keep the airline industry afloat. That's the job of the government. That's not being lazy. Because when the airline goes under, to date, we got millions of people unemployed. It becomes a weight on the government. Meaning when we're unemployed, we got to go collect unemployment insurance. We have to. Now we're telling you, I'm lazy. I came to America, no father, no mother. I have no money. So if Liberians who leave Liberia, majority of them during the war that were not educated, were able to come here, okay, get a GED. Even if they did not get a GED, find a nursing home job, because there's a job in America for everybody. If you don't get degree, if you even get degree and you can work, you can get you 2-3 jobs and you can manage your money. First thing is management. Personal responsibility. In fact, me and my son just got off the phone by talking about personal responsibility. If you can manage your money, if you make it $7 a month, and you find a place that is reasonable, and you manage your funds, and you're not trying to compete with a doctor next door, you're not trying to compete with Martha next door or John or Joseph, you can live a full life and a happy life to be you. All right? That's what the government provides. The government also compensates at the end of the year. You see, majority of our people who can come home, okay, in February, March, April, after tax, there is and I usually ask people, what's the living wage in Liberia? What's the living wage in Liberia? Don't worry about them, Priscilla. They're looking for attention. Let them just stay in here. Then after, they will not have the pleasure of having to see me anymore. Okay? Those are the people who are stuck in translation. Okay? Those are the people that are stuck in translation. They don't know where they belong. They're between two words. They can make decisions for themselves. Although they watch their brothers and sisters die every day. They watch little girls being raped every day. Now, what girls are raping little girls also, buying a set dildo. I don't know who got dildo to Liberia, meaning a false male part, okay, for girls, confused girls who want to be boys, and they want to be themselves. They can sleep with each other, that's fine. But when you start looking at babies and raping them, acting like you're a man, and there's no legal recourse, no moral recourse. In Liberia, when I was growing up, the moral recourse where you were going to be shunned. You are going to be disgraced. Your parents were going to be made shame that they raised you wrongly. My mother taught me when I was growing up. Sis Viola, welcome. Yasini, she called me Nanu, meaning grandma's daughter. All right? You can always hear me and say, oh, I'm also a granddaughter, right? Grandma's daughter, Nanu, or Yuku. According to them, when I was a kid, I was a low, chubby little kid. You can't see. Don't look at this face though. It's not chubby at all. Okay? And she would say, whenever you go, whatever you do, make sure when I walk there, I'm proud that my daughter walked here. That I don't have to bend my head to walk. Meaning, your decision process has to be calculated. It has to be far-sighted. It's like when you come and you have parents and you come on another woman's show. You come on in a public space and you misbehave and you insult other people's wives, other people's fathers, other people's brothers, other people's sisters. I have not used one profanity or anything degrading since I started. I said precisely, give description of who we are is. Nothing I said about we are is untruth. Everything that I said about we are is concise. To the point, Liberian men will say, we are had $80 million according to you who worship him. All right. When Liberian land was only $25 per lot. All right. In 1995, We had $80 million when Liberia had less than $60 million budget for the whole country. Meaning we could have bought the whole country and develop it. We could have built, if it was the industrial year where people were having factory, we could have opened factory, have Microsoft or have Michael Jordan to come and build a Nike store and train young Liberians. We would have been a multi-billionaire. That's the point I'm making to you. So when people who support we are set on platform and call Liberian people lazy, I have a problem with that. That means they themselves are lazy because the argument is lazy. They're limited in the thought process, and the only thing that comes to mind is approximation. Okay? Proximity or approximation. Okay? Meaning their connections. How close they are. How they benefit. Hey, says Rebecca. Okay, yeah, that be splash. So you coming on Facebook to get my subject in verb agreement, that's your problem. I don't care. I'm more educated than your president and majority of the Liberian public. And that's just that. All right? English is not my first language. I'm a minor girl. I'm a native girl. Okay? It's a borrowed language, and I don't give a fig about it, but I think I've surpassed the learning of it. So I don't particularly care about your particular thought. Thank you so much, Irene. So here we go. Your government has a responsibility to your country. Your government, the essence of hiring a government. And that's why all of us need to talk about it during this election season, right? We have to tell people why they vote, because we cut our children. I learned civic in middle school and high school in Liberia. So I know my role and responsibility, right? The generation that came between the 90s and up have not had an opportunity. If you guys remember today, every Liberian can tell you, we the people. The first commandment, the first article, okay, that says all power is inherent in the people. Then Article 7 about the gathering. We went from community to community, okay, to educate people on their right and responsibility. It is our duty, all of us as citizens who have been blessed, to understand and articulate however you can, either in your dialect. Wow, Orita from Virginia, welcome. All of you, welcome, okay? And hear me, welcome, all right? For all of us to go to work, if you can speak Gisi and you can speak it clearly, you have a responsibility to speak Gisi to your people and tell them why it is essential for them to vote and what the vote means. And let me go back to this. During the Obama campaign years, I was assigned on a street called Old Norcross, Peachtree Corners. Peachtree Corner had some high-end apartment complexes and duplexes, and had a low-end apartment complexes. So I decided to go to the other apartment complexes where there was a low-end apartment complexes. My son, maybe around 13 going to 13, at the time he was learning how to drive. So I gave him my key and I said to him, Sean, when you hear me screaming, don't come for me. Dial 911, and I gave him my phone. Dial 911, drive away. That's my child. My first and foremost responsibility is to make sure that he's safe. First and foremost, make sure. Hey, my sister from North Carolina, yeah, thank you for being here. Okay, and my sister is here, retired is here. That is actually, yeah, I'm not going to say that. And Leo. And he said, but mommy, why? I said, because I need you to be safe and I will be safe. Right? Yes. Yes, yeah, the lady from Lofa, Rebecca, yes, please. And you, Rebecca, you used to speak your tribe on there. So all of us, maybe we need to create a platform Thursday evening where every tribe can come. We can have a conversation. Guys, let me let you know, tomorrow conversation will be aired live in Danalema, Sanikole, all of Nima County and up to Pinsville. We are going live. We are being innovative. I know we started trying to do this more a year now. And it requires overhead. And we have to make sure how we can figure those out. Because the message cannot only be on Facebook. Facebook is good. But when the government took away the what do you call it, the weekend minutes, and they started stealing the people data, okay, it's hard for them to get on. They're barely trying to survive. So hey, my brother is here, all right? Hey, James. So to say the least, we got to find means to reach them at the point of their need, okay? It is essential that we meet our brothers and sisters at the... Hey, Alice Wall. Yes, sis. How you doing? Come on, okay? My dear, me and that lady not on any level by stretch, so I'm not even gonna go there. But thank you for the compliment. I think it don't particularly matter. This English, I've gone to the UN and represented you well, without thinking, from my own thought process. Nobody have to write it for me, so I'm good. So I'm gonna continue. And he has sat in American classes in graduate schools, and and taught. So if the American children that were born here can understand my English and they can carry on and go all the way up to college, I'm good. And then a country that have literally 80% illiteracy rate and would condemn, then you have a problem. You have not gotten it. For a thousand, Linda, welcome. If a country that got 90% unemployment can come to challenge that, then you have issues. I'm not going to do that. Going there to talk about it. Doc is here back and Rose. So now let's talk about your government. Let's talk about your government and holding your government accountable. All right. I'm talking to a lot of people. There is a young man on Facebook. Hey, Abraham, my little brother is here. Your BAM people did great yesterday. Yes. So, Nora, thank you for being here. So let's look at it this way. I particularly feel bad that my aunt is old. I can send money to my aunt and I can make it as a duty to send money to my aunt. Number one, she was very young. She didn't get to go to school, but she's smart. All right. People have to understand that you don't have to go and sit in classroom and be letter with a colonial word to be smart. Japanese are smart. Half of them don't speak English. They speak Japanese. All right? Chinese speak Chinese. Most Ghanaians speak Twi. That's true. They speak Twi. You see, Nigerian man greet you, which I have few friends, even my doctor, my personal doctor is a Nigerian. He greets you, he say, Ajayi. The next thing, he turn around to his wife, he's speaking his dialect. He's an MD. One of the best Georgia has his friend had won so many times in line. He's an MD. We, the Liberian people, are the only one who think a borrowed language is supreme because we are lost. You know why? There's a saying that goes in history. Language is the train that carries culture. That's why we want to be like everybody else, and we don't know who we are. And that's why we are behind. That's why we lack vision. We take money from people. We waste it because we want to fit in. We want to boost our morale. Okay? A president of a nation of almost 7 million people tells you he needs to get dressed up. He needs to borrow a plane in a nation that he said he took over broke to boost his morale. That just means you are hollow. Do you know what hollow is? You are empty. Hollow is like... This is actually some of my degrees. I'm not trying to show it to you. You see right here? You see the hole in here? You see in there? Like if it's empty, they won't got bottle A. Empty. You empty, nothing in it. That's what hollow means. That is empty, right? You're empty. So if you have to prove, listen, no matter what struggles my children go through, I'm still a good mother. Guess what? I provide them roof over their head. There's nothing that men did I need to live in a $1 million home. And they have clean clothes. There's nothing that men did that they need to have designer clothes. They have food to eat whenever they're ready. We are available to them to tutor them where they're lacking in regards to their school. That within itself and their well-being We always put them first as our children. That means I'm a good mother. I'm not prioritizing anything but them. I'm making sure they go to school. I'm making sure they have clean clothes. I'm making sure they have food to eat. Yes, I'm making sure that they love, they interact. I get up in the morning, I give them a hug. I tell my girls how beautiful and how important they are every day. No man will just look at them and say, you fine. You see my kids, not to brag. They're beautiful, okay? Physically beautiful and very respectful. My kids say, even the oldest one when I'm pissed, no ma'am, yes ma'am. When they start calling you ma'am and they're not calling you mommy, meaning they want to hear what you got to say, okay? So you know the code. When you're talking, they say yes ma'am. You know they're telling you, woman, get it over with. What are you talking about? But when they start saying yes, mommy, you also know that they want something, okay? So you learn these words. These are my kids. So even if the word told me, even if they went out and they committed did something that they're not supposed to do, that does not mean by a stretch I was a bad mother. It just means they made some choices that they should not have made, okay? And that's okay. And I'm not going to love them any less. I'm still going to love them because they are my kids. And I'm still going to support them. I'm still going to stand with them. I'm still going to find them the best lawyer to make sure, that they don't repeat what they've done. And hopefully they learn from it. But let me move forward. What your government is responsible for. Now, so your president gets literally $40 million for the U.S. Embassy. Okay? Another 50 million, a total of 57 million. That's about 97 million. Have not given food to our people. Have not given anything to our people. All the government officials have been diagnosed with corona and survive. All the market people where the song can say, make it blah blah, make it say, none of them are getting sick. They go walking around looking for dead body to say the corona killed them. This is Liberia. That is not the responsibility of the government. Number one, the state of emergency. Then it brings to bear your legislature. Your legislature is responsible for what is happening today. But let me explain to you first and foremost the power of the executive. The power of the executive is to manage the daily activities of the state and the direction of the state. All right? Not to sit around and call people lazy. Let me tell you today what's happening around the world. Hereafter, this corona, we will not have touch points. We will have AI, artificial intelligence. Majority of us will not be going to offices. Okay? Company will hire across globally. How has your government prepared your children and their population to be competitive? Now you're telling your people they're lazy. I have a 13-year-old that can code and build website. I didn't pay for it. The government paid for it. The school provided. In literally every 5-mile radius, there are schools. Thank you, Alice. Every 5-mile radius, there's an elementary school in all of our counties. Literally, I said literally, I'm not speaking, it's not metaphor. Literally, I live in a country. Every 5-mile radius, there is an elementary school. There also maybe 7-mile radius, there is a middle school. Then within that, the center of them, or there's a center point where there is a high school for the kids to go to. And they're done by cluster. So I don't have to leave, my kids don't have to leave their subdivision because they live in homes and the other children that live in apartment complexes go to a different school and they'll go to a different school. The curriculum is the same. Okay? Even the children that we call disabled, they also got section of the school that they go to. And they follow the curriculum. They may not learn at the speed that the kids who may not have developmental challenges, that what we call developmental challenges, where we learn at their speed. So they got specialized teacher to cater to those kids. All right? That's what my government, yes, American government is my government because that's the country. When my country decided they will rape me, they will beat me up, they will kill my family, they will massacre my friends, that the country that took me in and gave me a home and gave me an opportunity, a second chance to live and have my children to live and live in peace. That's why it is. Majority of the people on the phone who live in America, they will tell you, okay, when my children were firstly born, that Liberian mentality, all of them, I would put them in private school. I got to a point I said there was no need to pay the money, all right? Because, number one, they're smart kids. Whatever they do right after high school is on them, okay? So, after like going to the mid part of the elementary school, I thought they have foundation. Because the public school have more amenities than the private school. The private school, I say you drive all the way on the other side where they have big private school, but the little private school that were in our area did not have that much amenity for them to stay at. Like in the public school, there are a lot of resources. Number one, if your kids are not particularly strong in certain subject, a teacher will volunteer and say, bring them in the morning for an hour or two until they catch up. Or let them stay over and all you got to do, provide transportation for them. Two, there are different extracurricular activity like music, learning instrument, learning sign language. I'm just saying different extracurriculum, cheerleading, community service, all these things. Okay, that's my government. All right? That's my government. So when a Liberian man or woman who live in America, whose children went to school here, literally I would say welfare because they go to school free. But our tax money. To sit on Facebook and say Liberians are lazy, they want government to do everything for them. No, we don't. No, we don't. What we want government to do is for government to be responsible, for government to not be corrupt, for government not be killer or not adhere to the Constitution. So what is the role and responsibility of your government? So next week, we're going to bring people on the panel to discuss this. We're going to try to keep the panelists to 2 or 3 so they don't take long to go around, because sometimes most of them have wealth of knowledge and time does not permit for them to give you, because you want to give the meat, the meat of the bone to the public. So when people go and they say, the person spoke, let me think about it. Now, when your country, when the executive is not performing, all right, it's not performing, then you need to have an informed, an educated, when you talk about education, Liberian people get mad. Those one who found themselves in Europe, majority of them, okay, not everyone now, who got on resettlement, they came from Nimakante, they crossed the line from Grand Jide, from Guinea, and God bless them to make it out of there to Europe, even here in America. They get angry. Listen, knowledge is power. This is not from me, I say, Cindy. Solomon said, when the Lord asked him, ask for anything you want. And Solomon turned to the Lord, the Most High, and said, Lord, I want wisdom and understanding. Wisdom is knowledge. Understanding is knowledge, being able to disseminate, being able to look at things and logically analyze it. It's understanding. Thank you, Alice. Welcome. Sriki, welcome. All right? So to sit, if this is the case, that you are fighting and telling us education is not important, how come Akara's great daughter is in America going to college and have graduated and going to graduate school? How come the other political leaders have sent their children out of the country to go to school and come back? Now they want to run and lead you, and your children will still continue to be gatekeeper, yard cleaner, gate boy, chief coat for them. How come? If education was not important, how come? How come that they are sending their kids out of the country to go out? Why do they leave Liberia to go to other countries to seek medical help if knowledge is not important? They're going to people who are more knowledgeable. They're going to environment that knowledge have built to stay alive. And you're telling me, oh, education is not important. I don't care what kind of education you come with. Be it colonial, be it cultural. Listen, let me tell you something. I think my great uncle, right? When somebody break their leg or split their bones, he could go and pick them up. It was a gift he had. put it together, break a chicken leg, and put it in, make their own cast and put it in it. And they will give you timeline, okay? And within that timeline, as that person begin to thrive, the chicken will be doing the same thing. When the chicken start walking, that individual will walk, all right? That's knowledge. That's education. Those education were not passed on to us because we condemned it to begin with, because it was not colonial, because other people came and told us their idea was better than our idea. And that's why we're debating now. Then you talk about your government. The executive has a responsibility. After collecting, number one, Liberia is a unitary state. So Liberia collects all of its resources around all over the place, right? And brings it to the capital with the intention that there would be equitable distribution. It is noted in Article 7 of your Constitution, meaning the wealth of the nation need to be equally divided, not divided among the three branches of government, but divided amongst its citizens. Come tell me about educating. That is the wealth of the nation. Thank you, sis. The wealth of the nation belongs to the nation. The government, the representation of the nation that we elect or select, they're answerable to us. Their job is to perform and set the agenda of the nation. Meaning to direct the path of the nation, to create a schematics or a roadmap that will lead the nation to its next progress. In West Side, it's majority of us Liberians drive in reverse. We're thinking about the next best team. We're thinking about the next best innovation. But we're thinking about what happened yesterday. We're going to go to the next best. I hear Liberians going, oh, they want Taylor back. Jesus. Yes. 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 We call, in America, when the children have extra sight, sixth senses, they identify them very early. There's a school there's a tri-state school between New York, New Jersey, and PA. And they collect these kids with very high IQ who can do extraordinary things. Hey, Dave. And they send them there. And I will tell you a quick story because I'm not going to be here too long. And I had a friend whose daughter was very smart, had extra eyes, extra intelligent. They took her from her mother home and thought she was so smart. And her mother they have visitation time to go visit. They were not allowed to distract the children. And they were under so much pressure to be almost perfect, to explore their gifts. They were not the only one. There were other African children. And by the time this child got to high school, they had given her opportunity to travel the world, to go to other places, other institutions. Our people that y'all call witchcraft, America found her witchcraft and bring them together to see how they can put their gift together to innovate. That is true. Some may not end so well because the imagination is wild. Because the word, they have word beyond word. This child graduated at Harvard with distinction. Parents didn't have to pay a dime. Parents are good though. Mother is the director of nurses. But they look at her talent. And the government invested in her. Had it not been for Corona, my baby, at least I always talk about I have, teenager, 30s and 20s baby. But Alyssa is our math and science ways. So Alyssa was supposed to go to Washington to meet, I think I told you a while ago, Donald Trump or whoever will be president. at the time. And Mama said, my grandbaby not going to go meet that devil. Okay, and we don't think she's going to go with all of these things that is happening. So they encourage these kids. Let's look. Besides majority of the children in private school in Liberia, the regular everyday school, how many of our babies that we look at, we test them periodically as a nation to say we need to get extra help to this one. This one needs to catch up to this one. The first thing they start telling you, door. Your child slow, you door, you can't learn, you can't do this. They start discouraging you. When you call your child a dog over and over, they start thinking they are. So let's talk about the role and responsibility of the government. When the executive in your nation is not performing, all right, then the legislative has a responsibility called the direct representation of the people. The essence of you voting for people. Liberian people, listen and listen well. God, share this video, please. When you leave, and let me tell you something, my own sister then did it. Not this past election, the election before, because I was in Liberia too. They packed up their stuff and went to go vote for their in-laws then in Nimba. But they live in Montserrat. And I was telling them, why are you going? The roles and responsibility of the government. Oh, I hope that not today. Oh. I hope that not today. I've been seeing so many meetings this morning. I hope that not today. I got paperwork to do. Lord. The role and responsibility of the government is at the top. It should be there. All right. So they pack up their truck from county to county. Let me tell you all this. When you do this, other people leave their districts. They are paid to come to your district to select, not elect, select your representation, your representatives, your senator. Guess what? They do not represent you. You know, let's say it here and say it there. Let's talk so and talk so. Let's talk so. They paid you to vote for them. They borrow money from people to vote for them, for you to vote for them. You can't ask them to speak for you. Let's be honest. Moving forward, you don't take money from people to vote. Let me tell you what happened in 2017. I'm on my way to Nimba Grand Jide Bond. I got to Nimba, the road closed. I can't go anywhere. So I have to come back to Monrovia. My mother is a grown woman. I'm a grown woman. She was talking to me from the biblical standpoint. So I think, yeah, so she was talking from a biblical standpoint, his attitude per se. So we're having an adult conversation, not to our kids. We don't talk to our children like that. So, but thank you for the input. I appreciate it. Yeah, so yeah, my mom is old. She's old. So we're having an honest two adult conversation per se. Our kids were not there. We don't get our children involved into adults conversation per se. He is devilish. What's wrong with that? Your behavior can be devilish. Those are facts. So y'all see, we like to sugarcoat stuff. We have to speak truth to power. Does he have some good qualities? Yes, but he is devilish. What's wrong with that? When somebody is devilish, that it means he has a dubious mentality. He's very devious. Yeah. So that's that. God, I hold on not today. I got a meeting. If that's that, I am just out of it. I can't. But let me continue. I'm gonna be finishing in a few minutes. Now, so I'm coming back really frustrated. The roll is bad because from Ganta to Saclay-Pierre, that's like a 15 minutes drive if you have quota and it's paved. It took me almost 4 hours because the place is muddy. If I were not on this phone, I will show you what it looks like. Muddy. The place is so muddy. All right. I chartered a car or rented a car, but I have to get out of the car and walk while the people push the car. In fact, those cars we used to call back on DeSoto, the big truck, they were all stuck on the road, on every part of the road. I will post a little. I posted that on my page before. So The people were trucking. People from different counties coming into Nima. Some of them going to Grand Jide to go vote for their people. Although they don't live in Grand Jide. Although they don't live in Nimba. Some of them don't live in Bonkante or Bikena. But they were on their way. And those that were going to Grand Jide got stuck. The truck got stuck in Nimba. So 30 part of Nimba, the Tabeta area. They got stuck in the mud. Some of them have been there for days and could not move. Okay, some of them could not move. So, thank you. Somebody here said they are witness. I will post a picture that says, and I started thinking. So before we were coming back, then I started to ask, where y'all going? The other people said they're going Tapeta area, they're going Display area, they're going Grand Jide area, and they're going vote. And I'm like, to them, how can you leave your area to go vote? So they're going to vote for t-shirt, for $20 or $30, like my town, where my father is from. Prince Johnson gave them cow shoulder. And the women broke wood. And they brought it, you know, your big black round pot with a leg and put it on top of the stone. And it was like, they were having feasts. The papa sent all meat and rice. And I'm saying to myself, where I come from, we pay people to run. We pay people to win so they can represent us. But you're taking from people. And you're anticipating that these people will speak for you. These people are not rich. What do you think in your right mind they're getting money from to give it to you? And they expect for them not to be corrupt. I'm not making excuses for them. The thing is, our job is to analyze our defects, okay? And then fix it. And I started with this. America is not great because she is a big country. She's not great because of her intellectual ability or her army power. She's great based on her ability to repair herself. That's what she said, okay? Her ability to repair herself. Now, so these people go out and voted. Y'all know why Cabinet General wanted to redo the vote, the whole election? Because majority of those people will not have money to go back up interior and different districts to go have people vote for them. They native to that place, to that city. They native to that district. Those people were going to make a decision in their district, although majority of those people have gone, were trucked to go register somewhere. But the people within that community were going to be the one voting. And then the people that were going to go vote, they were going to ask for some more money. And majority of the people who were buying vote would not have the money. Now, let's go back. So when they got to the courthouse, you found out that, when we got to the next election, although the Supreme Court was defied by the LEC, because, NEC, sorry, I keep saying LEC, NEC, the National Election Commission, right? You remember when Ellen Johnson Sirleaf got to town, demanded that Cocoa went to her house and read away the override when they were told to clean the voter registry, and they never did. Remember all of that? Yes. So the honor court, to begin with. So let's go here. Let's be clear here. Monkey see, monkey do. But here is my problem with we are. Whether Ellen Johnson Sirleaf and her family and her friends were all corrupt. I get it. We all knew that. Well, I get that finance was a place across the street to Susanna. Men have to sleep with other men to give them. Even there was a lot of publication where this guy, Kroma, had gone on a travel with one of the deputy minister at the finance place, and he went in his hotel room. I got a copy of that release. They took it down from Facebook, okay? And the other guy propositioned him to sleep with him, and they will increase his pay. This is Liberia during Ellington, 2017. I have that because I took picture of it. He says, hey, Mr. Yoko, okay, I have copy of that. cross the street, all of them wearing pants and wearing beer, walking around here like they're men. Half of them are fully, they've been busted. I would just say the Prophet Kisi, but I'm going to use a different term. You know, I got to be a lady, so I got to, not that he's not a man, but he came to the scene with a different style, and that's his style. You know, the how he came, the how they welcome him, and the how he is. I, on the other hand, have a different take to that, so that's the way. So, they go back to vote. If you remember, almost 40% of the electorate did not go back to the ballot box. All right, because the lawmaking part of the vote were already finished. Kabina Janet demanded that the whole election be done over, and they said no. We were going to see the flaw in the election. We were going to see our shortcoming. We were going to learn something from that election. If you note, okay, half of the population did not return to vote. We have got 700,000, a little over 700,000 votes.
Mama, Mom, can you call my mommy so I can stay here a little bit longer?
Call your mommy so you can stay a little bit longer. Guys, that's my grandbaby. She want to stay with grandma. Come here. Come say hello to everybody.
Hi.
Say hi.
Hi.
Say I'm grandma's girl. She wants to call her mommy so she can stay a little bit longer. I'm going to continue my conversation because some of you are purposely here to distract. And I don't think I need to do that. I need to focus on my thought process. I am talking about governance. It is literally impossible at this point to talk about the executive and to omit the head of the executive. If to omit the head of the executive, that would be ludicrous. And anybody who thinks they are logical enough to even consider talking or challenging that, you are hollow and you are so sycophantic that you don't even know what you're thinking. You don't have the ability to be logical and be balanced per se. So let me move forward because I'm not even going to go there with you. I'm not. No disrespect to you. That's it. All right. I am discussing how the executive should work, how their job is, the job of the executive. That's what I'm discussing. So if you come over here and think you're going to be a distraction, you have a problem. You have a problem. If there is a way that can discuss the executive without the head, who is the head, and hire all the other people that come on board to work with him or with her to shape the nation, then you have a problem. Then you don't need to be here. You are here. Happy Sabbath, enjoy. Okay? Then you don't need to be here. Then you're only here to be a distraction. And you don't have to be here. So if you're not here to be part of the conversation, concretely speaking, then you don't need to be here at all. So let me continue my thought, like I was saying. All right? So if you look at the numbers, if you look at the data, and you analyze the data or the data from the last 3 elections, all right, you will notice that the numbers shifted when the whole people could not go, or the different segment of the electorate could not go back to vote. So we have got 700,000 votes. Mind you, now there are over 2 million people that registered to vote, right? So you got 700,000 votes. That's not a million vote. That's not half of the population. All right? So you get that. Now, that's not a popular vote per se. You know, when we say you won all 15 or 16 candidates, now then we have to look at, we've looked at countrywide. Okay? Then let's look at the numbers and do some comparable and data crunching, right? So looking at the data, no, the numbers were in there. The number were in there, and the numbers were in there, and the numbers still not there. All right? Now, let me continue. As I was saying, so then you have the other almost 28% that were supposed to go out of town to vote, that live in the different segment of the place but could not vote because they've already gotten money from people, going to Nima County, going to Grand Gide, going to Maryland, going to Bon County, going to Bassa, wherever they went, Lofa County, to vote there for their own people for lawmaking. So then what they do, they shortchange the rest of the nation. So we ourselves as citizens, we are as corrupt as our leaders. Okay? Because we encourage the leadership to be corrupt. Naila, those are, what is it? Is it vitamin?
No, it's gummy bears.
It's just gummy bear? It's not vitamin? Okay, great. Thank you. Now, that's my granddaughter. Came in gummy bear. Now, so here where we are. Let me go back again. Thank you, Larry. So, they didn't go back to vote because they could not vote. They could not vote because they were only voting in that area and they could not transport themselves back to go vote. So they shortchanged the rest of the nation in their dishonesty just to get a little cow, just to get t-shirt, just to get $20 or $30 or $50. All right? Now, that's it. So now we have work to do. What we need to do as a nation, all of us advocates, all of us well-meaning people, we have a responsibility to educate our people as to the power of their vote. You know, I did a video that stated, it's on YouTube, you can find it, before the people could go back to the poll to vote. That's my granddaughter. That's my beautiful granddaughter. She looks like my mommy. Yes. Thank you so much, Mandy. So that's what I'm saying to all of us, as we are talking about the leadership and shifting the blame, majority of the people that we're yelling for today, who are in leadership, who are into advocacy. When I was in Monrovia, okay, even some of the leaders, young leaders in Nimba, some of them were yelling. In fact, I went. Some of them were hungry, bought them food at gas station and selling places. They were thinking, you know book, you don't know book, I will vote for you. We got this, we got that. Because they're getting low money here, they're getting low money there. Right? But they didn't think about the future. And that video, I know that. Remember, election is not a 90-minute football game. When you have a football game, for those of us, my godson play football. My son played football in high school, okay? And now we watch football in America. And I told them, not particular football, I'm talking about soccer. I told them this is not a 90-minute soccer game. That when it's done, you go back to your life. You tell your teammates and your opponent, great job, we'll meet next time. This is a 6-year contract. Make sure the decision you're making, you can live with it. Make sure that the decision you're making, your children and their children are part of this decision process. Because as you make this decision, it's going to affect you, it's going to affect your children and their children. Hey, Alex. They didn't hear. Baron was there. Des Moines yesterday was there. My own little brother, Ben Savi, was there. Should I need some more? Many of those young people who have voices were there. I heard people call Bwaka all the names above and beyond that I will not call any elder or worse. And for me, where I come from, they tell you regard your elders as your uncles and older women as your auntie. Respect. So we did. So again, the government is responsible. Here says Dolly. The government is responsible to bring, when we pack our resources and bring it, when they make decision on our resources, the fundings should go to support the nation, not just 3 branches of government. As I stated, the legislature have the power to call the government, the executive into question. We call it check and balance and oversight. What are they doing? And here's some of the problem. You know, I got some of my own favorite lawmaker, like Darius Dillon. That's my boy all day, yesterday, tomorrow. Is he perfect? Hell no. I'm not either. None of us are. He's into a new playing field. He's learning his way around. We're quite a learning curve. When you go to a new job, you have to learn your way, especially that one that is so convoluted. Okay? Thank you, Sonny Ball. So, Liberians are on here talking about respect. Why they're insulting me. But they watch their little girls being molested, raped every day, and killed in front of them. They watch their babies being wasted hot water on and killed and no answer. They watch themselves suffer day in, day out. They still going to the water side to find water to take bath in it. But they're here talking about respect. They still have no good school, no good internet. But they come and talk about respecting leader. What leader? Who is corrupt? The leader who have derailed the future of your children. The leader who watched your children being killed and ripped daily and said not a word. The leader who steals your money to give it to his wife to go support his family and his hobby. What leader? The Bible tells me suffer the wish not to live, whether he's a leader or he's a liar or he's a liar. I don't give a fick. Some are here not to listen to the message, but to be a distraction. They come on a fake names, then they go by, they bring some more fake names. Y'all go ahead, so y'all will bring all the fake names. Now, I'm ending this, how you call it, guys. Sorry, I came on late. I would have a panelist here today. I don't, because I have problem with some technological problem. I will fix it. I gotta go reset my router again and see what's going on. Maybe I need to I'm not sure what's going on. But it is what it is. Now, to finish up, your government is responsible, okay, to educate your children, to educate its population, because the government is in charge of the natural resources. George Weah had private jet when he was not working as the president. Did George Weah have mansions for the 7 of them when he did not? Let me go back this. Tomorrow we will be here live and be live all over in Liberia. Starting next month, we'll be live also in Lofa County. That is the goal. We will be talking about the pros and cons of the War and Economic Crimes Court, per se, the full implementation of the TRC. And let me ask all of you on here, if you're on here and you were affected by the war and you live in the U.S. and you want to do something about it and hold somebody accountable, please contact me. We have work to do. I will ask you, I need your consent to something, and there's a work that needs to be done. Hey, Leonard. So, let me go on. There is a need. Oh, I was going to talk about the deal reached by Ellen Johnson Sirleaf and George Weah. This came to my desk a few days ago before they were released. Ellen Johnson Sirleaf struck a deal with Weah. Because if you guys remember from the interview with Al Jazeera, she was really embarrassed. Ellen Johnson Sirleaf is all about her name, her image in the international community. Whether Liberians are dying or they're being ripped, she does not care. Now she's going to promote women. When she was president, she did not promote women. Anything to stay in the spotlight and collect more money because the money line is running dry, although she still have share in the gold mines with some elites in around the world. Maybe some of you don't know that. Victoria, my phone number 404-234-2534. Visit my page. Is Second Thought Africa TV. When you visit that, the other phone number is there. You can reach me on that phone number. So I will post it later. Now, so Ellen Johnson Sirleaf reached out to Weah with a deal. There are a few $1 million handshake, just like when that little boy was killed at CDC compound, and they had to give him money for them not to protest for the little boy death, so he can have money to bury his mother. He reached a deal with her. And besides, she's going to start working in the back end to connect him, smooth the ground with the other African leaders, especially those in the Mano River basin. And then she's going to try to reach out to Nigeria and other those places. So if you're on here for all CCP, please, you guys will have to get to work. It is important. Relationship is important. Ellen is on the go, and she is on the go. Thank you so much, Austin, for watching from Kakata. Please share the video. I do appreciate your being here. Musa, all of you, Mandy, all of you. Yeah. Thank you so much, Victoria. You can call me later. So I need you to understand it. That was my particular news for you. Yes, Ellen is going to be working with WIA. They're going to try to do, hopefully, we have a responsibility as advocate to start writing all the different emissaries, especially in our area. All right? We need to start writing people like the Bill of the Word, the Sierra Leonean embassy. I'm not sure about the Guinea embassy. Condi is already killing Guineans because they have been protesting and intimidating them, so I'm not sure about him. The Senegalese, the Nigerians, okay, because they don't want some more refugee in the place. So yes, I will be reaching out to everyone again, or we will be reaching out, or Thomas Asumana. If there's the UN General Assembly this year, we want to be part of the discussion at the table for human rights. So I'm very particular about what I pronounce on my timeline. I don't want to be in the next human rights report. I try to stay within the confines of the law. I try to stay within the confines of my work, and that's what I do. We need, yes. So she's fighting, and WIA has agreed with her to fight us. Now, let me say to all of you Liberian people, you guys are wonderful. You are excellent people. Let me look at my stuff here. In the last month and a half, we raised thousands of dollars to ship money to Liberia. Okay? What is this? Who sent me $25 expired? Okay, I don't know who I sent. How you call it to $25 expired. I don't know when did I send $25. Okay, so we receive a lot of money from you. Okay, Yaman, Gabriel, Sendolo, Abba, Victoria, Francis, Emmanuel, Anna, Wazer, Beatrice, Abdullah, Vidal, Joyce, Roberta, Dairis, Eli, Comfort, Samrika, Axel, Minister Henry, Alexander, Adolphus, Zolta, Elda, Masa, Gifty, Lily, Josephine, Orita, Dorothy, Veronica, Justina, Majay, Dorothy, Gwendolyn, Musu, Mitten, Pauline, Henrietta, Agnes, Asatu, Hawa, Donna, Shelley, I think this is Ellen, Grace, Jabida, Benita, Alexander, Maureen, Musu, Bird, Thomas, Josephine, Calvin, Rebecca, Jacob, Gifty, Judas, Randy, all of you, let me say thank you to you. Let me say thank you so much for your contribution. And Bill, I agree. That was the essence of this. So Ellen Johnson still lives ahead of you. Leadership in Africa, Uncle Peter here. Leadership, here is also about relationship. Okay. Now, I explained to you the job of your government. Okay. Your government job is to provide social program to its citizen. Your government's job is also to provide perimeters for everyday behavior for citizens, protect them from outside interference, and to often provide for their well-being and happiness. The government job is to invest in its citizen. It is your job. That said, we will continue this conversation on the job of the executive of your government. All right? And I want to say to all of the men and women who supported in this process, we've done great. We provided food for orphan children. We provided food for single mothers. We provided food for disabled people. We provided food for schools and masks for protection. We gave out 1,600 masks to people. I just want to say thank you. And we have some of you, I'm a part of a team that I'm supposed to be on a meeting right now around Liberia and helping people, educating people, providing protection and food for people. So, Mother, welcome. And I'm about to leave. Sis, Alice, thank you so much for being here. All of you, let me say I'm here because you're here. So, my job as a citizen and as an activist is to educate my people to make the rightful decision to push the country forward. If you have problem with that, that's, oh, Joe, I'm live. So I'm gonna be leaving this again. I have a meeting. I have and I have some work to do. So Ellen is, and those of you who believe it, that's your problem. You don't believe it, that's your problem. If you believe it, great. Yes, Ellen, I made a deal with, and all of that was a distraction. When Demoy was put in jail, it was a distraction. Weah and his people divided that money, the $25 million, and the $16 billion. They know what happened to it. We all know what happened to it, just as the $97 million for the release, precisely the first $57 million that was given out. We know what happened to it, as we have used it. Now, Joel Howard Taylor is telling us they can't afford. The country cannot afford to feed, let's just say if there's 1 million homes in Liberia, and rice is $13 a bag. So the government cannot afford to give 1 million bag to Liberian, which is $13 million, when they got $97 million, when the nation have $500 million. So where is okay, all the travel expenses, where are they traveling? Yes, she's trying to get blood out of Turner. She's trying to bring back war. I remember 1990 precisely where I sat, where Elizabeth Brown sat in the People's House at the USMSA. When Ellen called in the interview her that afternoon, the more level what, and she will rebuild it. She was given an opportunity, 12 years to rebuild it. And the song said, Africa, scatter, scatter. And that's what she did. Guys, if you're still here, please help me share the video for me. I would really appreciate it. Please share the video. I am about to go. But I'm going to see if I can play this video for you from the war. Where the war says how many people fought the war. How many of those were children. 75% of the people who came in Liberia were children. So when the young lady told me that, says, yeah, My siblings stopped growing when the war started. Majority of us stopped growing emotionally when the war started. Those are facts. Whether we want to accept it or not, we stop growing emotionally. We still get into that stage. Some of us who walk the New Bridge, some of us who saw what happened, we saw that. We played, I wanted to play that particular video. I think I saw it today, of the UN general. We're talking about our country, our children that we killed, that we put out there to be killed. And we have not gotten answer. Let me tell you something. I would say like Emmanuel Savage would say. And I would say it's in the true sense. All right? In the true sense, no amount of election is going to change Liberia. Josh, we have promised us so much. What did we end up with? What did we end up with? He promised us justice. He promised us protection of women. He promised us opportunities. He promised us schools and development. Development. The primary development of any nation is development of the mind. It's education. The primary development of any nation is development of the mind. Empowering your population. Empowering your young people to be competitive. Google will be hiring around the world. How does Liberia play? How many Liberians can compete with Japanese? How many? We're talking about collective success. I'm going to play this and I'm going to call this a day and I will find that.
Man, I will get weapons from wherever I... We will fight to the last man. I will get weapons from wherever I have to get it. If the Pentagon got some, please give me some.
Is that why your nickname was General Butt Naked?
Yes, because I was naked, because I fought naked.
Yeah.
Then we drain the blood from the innocent child and drink it before going to battle.
So you killed the child?
Yes.
I left it up on a chopper. I'm gonna eat it. Lieutenant General, hi. Yeah. We've been through a lot, but thank God we here. Already know Pascal. Jason. R.I.P. to all the fallen heroes. Yeah, it started 1980, summer do with Kujita. We saw the Control Club removing all the suit and tie. In this step, men were tied up on the poop for dinner die. We all appearance, but trouble lazy set us apart. And so election was hosted in 1985, but summer to have power, so election said was hijacked. But December 1989, something different happened. From a minister, just still stop president hunting. The mission was to jeopardize the dog government. MP ever was his team, he was the front man. But by the big shit, he brought the Prince Johnson's man. But Prince Johnson, Allah Zeri, we had to play on control. So mission accomplished, he executed too. Make a phone call to the one in the shadow just to let him know that he accomplished the mission that he was sent for. But innocent life that was lost, he can't account for. It didn't stop, the bloodshed was wasting in the land. Some people lost their family, loved one, and their friend them. Some managed rapping and go settle, it's a different land. Knowing nobody starting over, making some different plans. Foreign countries saw the people, they was terrified. So ceasefire was written in 1995. 1997 election was held then, and Charles Taylor was elected as a president. The people believe he was the man coming save the land. So the song of song came my parents, I will vote for him. After Taylor when Liberia became peaceful, refugee begin to return home from where they flee to. But so you limit forces we from in their cellar. They begin fighting for local country, they didn't spread. If they stabilize government and control time of fee, this was the beginning of the second civil war we see. The Liberian War was one of the bloodless from 1989 to 96. We have spent a lot of bloodshed. About 200,000 Liberians lied there, and a million live alive as refugees somewhere else. The second civil war began from 1999 to October 2 with the man. That was a long time. Finally, ECOWAS intervened on rebel siege, and Charles Taylor was taking over the NIG. 2006, he was taking.
That is our life story. That is the chronicle of all of the children that were born in the 80s up to date. Those that were 8 and 9 years old before the 80s, that is also our history. We stopped growing emotionally. We're disconnected emotionally. So when people come on my platform and insult, maybe in the meantime, I'm a little bit taken aback. But you know what? It does not take me anywhere. That's why usually I just say they're all my children. They're all my children because I know they stopped growing. I know they're stuck on. I know they're traumatized. I know we need justice. I know at this point, Liberia needs the War and Economic Crimes Court. For 173 years, none of the promises have been kept. That said, I will leave you with this. That's the thing.
For final trial until now you stuck up playing jail. So people say that they messy, so people say that they hate this. So say he never happy, so try to do all of the right things. Yeah, they act a comprehensive peace agreement into a treaty that let us to have a stable peace, man. Signatory by government of the country. Learn more than all the important political parties. Over 2003, we end up with intergovernment. Or intergovernment headed by Judy Bryant. To lead the people until we can reach election time. The time in which the people elected and trust a president. And so we had a president, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. Same term, we've been living in some stable peace. No more war, we want peace. No more war, we want peace.
He's been in the news a lot lately because Charles Taylor is on trial at The Hague for war crimes.